remember when I was a young boy, I'd turn on a light switch and the light came on. I wouldn't think much of it. Then one day I began to wonder, how does it work? What made the light turn on? As a kid, my imagination ran wild. I came up with all kinds of interesting ways that the light turned on. We all take electricity for granted. In fact, we get highly upset when we turn on a light switch and it doesn't turn on. If we knew more about electricity and how it works, we might be able to appreciate it when the light does turn on. Now, I'm not an electrical engineer, but my experience and my education as a journeyman electrician has given me first-hand knowledge of how electricity works. Many people are unaware of how electricity gets to their home. Today, I would like to talk to you about what electricity is, how it's delivered to homes and businesses, and how it works in the house. First, let's talk about electricity. To understand electricity, we've got to go back to high school chemistry. Now, we all know the basic structure of an atom. You have negative electrons that orbit a positive nucleus, where there's a attraction, a positive and negative attraction. And the overall charge is neutral. Electricity can be defined as the movement of electrons from one atom to another. So, electrons, electricity. Certain elements, called conductors, lose electrons easier than others. Thus, less energy loss and less heat. Silver is the best conductor, but due to its high cost, the second best conductor, copper, is used more often. The loss of an electron gives the atom a positive charge, which attracts another electron, thus creating the flow of electrons called current. There are two types of current, direct current and alternating current. In direct current, you have two lines, a positive and a negative, much like that in a battery. Alternating current is what we use in the house, and it has one hot wire, which alternates between positive and negative, and a neutral, which carries current back. According to Del Mar's standard textbook of electricity, too much current can cause high amounts of heat, which can damage conductors and possibly cause a fire. That is why the National Fire Protection Agency requires circuit breakers in panels to protect the wires if the current gets too high. We've talked about what electricity is. Now we're going to talk about how it's delivered to homes and businesses. Electricity is generated in power plants and passed through the system to where we work, live, and play. Electricity is not created out of thin air, as it may seem, but rather it comes from the earth and is always trying to find the path of least resistance to the ground. Now, there's a magnetic field around the earth, and power plants, with the use of magnets and conductors, raise the natural voltage of zero from the ground to a much higher voltage in a conductor. According to the Pacific Power website, electrical power plants convert resources into electricity using generators. Water, wind, and high-pressure steam created by the use of fossil fuels or the sun turn a turbine, which spins a magnet inside coils of wire, which creates current. That current is then sent to substations via an array of high-voltage distribution lines called the power grid. With the use of transformers, the substations reduce the voltage and sends it toward homes and businesses through distribution lines either underground or overhead. Smaller transformers at the point near a building reduce the voltage again to either 120 for homes or 277 for most businesses. Now, you may have seen some cans on the top of power line poles. They look like trash cans. Those are step-down transformers. Since we discussed what electricity is and how it is delivered to us to use, let's discuss what happens when we use electricity in a home. We use electricity in our homes to provide us with the conveniences that we all have grown so accustomed to. Electricity provided to the home through the main panel, which is usually located on the outside of the house. There, it is divided into several large circuits that supply the equipment, the main equipment in the house, like the compressor for the air conditioner, the electric stove, the oven, the water heater, but most importantly, the inside subpanel. In the subpanel, the electricity is divided again into smaller circuits. These circuits provide electricity to the outlets that power our Xbox, our TVs, our toasters, and even the lights. There are 3 wires in a circuit. There's a hot wire, there's a neutral, and there's a ground. According to the Hyperphysics website, everything that uses electricity needs a hot wire and a neutral wire, where the hot delivers the voltage and the neutral takes it back to the panel where it is returned to the earth. The ground is there only for safety reasons. It provides a pathway for stray voltage to go to ground without passing through a person first. Some large appliances require 2 hot wires. In this case, the 2 hot wires take turns being the neutral, but still provide the higher voltage that the appliance needs. The work that we see happening when we turn on a light switch is 120 volts pushing current through a light fixture, which then either ignites a gas, like in fluorescent lights, or heats up a coil, like in incandescent lights. In conclusion, you have learned about electricity and how it's applied to you to use. Electricity and its pathway to your everyday use is what I intend to bring to light. I've told you what electricity is, how it's delivered to homes and businesses, and how it works in the home. With the whole process being as complex as I've shared, I think we can all appreciate the ability that electricity gives us to enjoy life. And we can also understand that it's not as easy as just flipping on a switch.